The expansive landscapes of Burden Museum and Gardens, the tranquil environment of the LSU Rural Life Museum, the iconic magnolias planted throughout LSU. These magnificent achievements in landscape architecture can be attributed to legendary Louisiana native Steele Burden.
Steele Burden is from Baton Rouge, and he spent his entire life here. He never married. He was one of 3 children, and they all resided on this property, Windrush Plantation at the time.
A renowned landscape architect, Burden was responsible for conceiving and laying out the lush landscapes of Windrush Gardens and designing the outdoor layout of LSU's flagship campus.
All the oak trees and magnolias and big crepe myrtles that we all celebrate at LSU, he put there, one man, from 1932 to 1970.
In addition to his work in landscape architecture, Steele Burden is also known for his many pieces of period artwork that depicts the rural life he grew up knowing.
The story goes that Paul Cox, who was a professor at LSU, said, "Burden, if you're interested in sculpture, then take this piece of clay," and he threw a piece of clay at him and said, "Make something out of that." And he made a turtle, and he had it fired. And from then on, he started just practicing and playing with clay. He called it pinch art, and he would literally just pinch it out. They were done in various clays, but he liked a Georgia clay, which was more of a white clay. And they would be fired with a white glaze, but a crackle glaze. So if you look at an old plate or an old platter from your grandmother, the glaze tends to crackle over the years. And he would actually get India ink and fill in the cracks so that they would show up even more. So that's kind of his signature finish. One time he got a collection of red clay by mistake, and so he went ahead and used it.
Burden's clay figurines were more than just caricatures to Floyd. They were folk art commemorating life on the plantation.
He did a lot of things like the old quarter buildings and horses and mules pulling a cart or pulling a plow. Because of his sense of humor, he started adding a lot of fun things to it. Things that happened all the time that people have forgotten about but he used to laugh at, like running to the outhouse because you have to go to the bathroom and opening the door and there's somebody in there.
Every day for over 40 years, Burden would make up to 3 of these figurines. He is estimated to have crafted between 20,000 and 25,000 clay sculptures during his lifetime.
He loved giving them away. So people would come in this corner and sit and just talk to him. Basically, if he liked you and thought you were interesting, he'd offer you one. So they're all over the world.
Despite enjoying a national reputation, Burden ensured that some of his pieces would always remain in Baton Rouge. One of his most unique contributions to the community can be found at the Ollie Steele Burden Nursing Home.
He did a series of biblical plaques. They're put on the post in the walkway, and they tell every bit of the story from New Testament to the Old Testament.
In addition to the clay sculptures, Burden also created numerous paintings that showcase the sheer beauty of the local landscape.
His paintings, he never took seriously, but he loved copying paintings that he really liked. There's a painting called Blue Rhapsody, which is a swamp scene. It's kind of that bluish gray that you'll see right before dark. And that was a nude Helder painting, but still added his own interpretation to it.
To visitors of the Rural Life Museum, it would only be after his death that his artwork would begin to be sought after and sold.
Believe it or not, the art that he did not take seriously, his paintings and sketches, are really the most popular. They bring in the largest price. They're all over the city and all over the state and all over the country. And most people just cherish them.
While Steele's achievements in landscape architecture may have left the most lasting landmarks on the Baton Rouge community, it's his clay sculptures and paintings that truly reflect the man's love for his homeland and extended it out all over the world. I'm Will Lurker with LPB.